Are we live? Hey guys, happy Halloween. I don't think I'm going to get any trick-or-treaters, especially since I don't have the lights on and I don't have any candy. So that I'll turn the light on when it's almost time for Scott to come home. But I thought I'd come on just a couple minutes early and see who all's already here. Hi, Kathy and Giovanna. Hello. Hi, Angela. I was just working on my Inktober, and I got to day 30, and then I realized because I did a title page, I was going to be a page short for tonight. So I've got another piece of paper, and I'm just going to do tonight's or today's Inktober and stick it on the back cover. Hi, Josie Webb. Hi, Mindy. Hi, Amber. Thanks, Amber. You too. But I thought I'd flip through this real quick. This is my Inktober. I'm not going to do my last drawing in here. I'll do it after tonight is show. And this is my little key to the pictures that I've done. And I like to do that in the front. So next year I have to remember I have to add one more page. Hi, Janet. So I just thought I'd do a quick flip through of my Inktober pictures. Most of these you guys have already seen. I want to do some more goblins. This is one of the witches from Hocus Pocus, the one that likes to eat children. Hi, Isla. Happy Halloween. And that witch, it was done with a gel pen, and it's still kind of weird to your fingers. If you have any moisture, that gel Losity pen, it'll still kind of smudge. So I'm glad I'm almost done with this journal. So I'm just going to flip through. Just a quick flip. Linda McAllister, hello. How are you tonight? You watched Hocus Pocus today? I think I'm going to watch it after we wrap up. I'm only going to go for 2.5 hours from now on, just so that everybody can, we can get together and play, and then everybody will have a couple hours before they need to go to bed to do things around their own homes, because I know I need to manage my time a little bit better. Hi, Suze. So I can look at these and tell which ones I felt like doing and which ones I didn't. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you can get to sleep eventually. She's kind of snarky. I'm into this whole thing of finding balance. That's the reason I've put a time limit on my lives, so that, I can do other things and I don't get too tired. Thanks, Linda. This one, this poor little boy, he poor thing. And then this one, these 2 pages were not good days to be drawing. And then I've been trying to catch up. Hi, Sharon Lombard. She kind of looks like the Alice in the Johnny Depp version, I think. Or the Queen of Hearts. Yeah, the Queen of Hearts from that one. And then these are ones I did yesterday, trying to get caught up because I promised I'd do all 31 days. So I'm going to get them all done. I'm going to do the last one after I go off. But this was all from Pinterest. It's an old, card or something, and I just thought it would be fun to draw that one. And then I did the leaves, finished these up this morning, and then this evening I did another one about balance in motion this time. And this is supposed to be one of my nieces, and she just didn't turn out too good. So I'll try to do Anastasia again another time. And then I just did this little guy from Jerry's tags that she did. I just thought he was really cute. So I've got one left to do to have all 31 days, and I'll do it and then glue it in here. So that's my Inktober nearly finished. I had to go to the dentist yesterday, and I had my teeth cleaned, and they got all the coffee stains off, and I promptly came home and made coffee. So, but I stopped at Tuesday Morning and Hobby Lobby while I was out and down there, but I didn't buy a lot. I got some napkins for Tanya's napkin swap at Tuesday Morning. So I'm going to package some of these up and send them down to her. I just got to make sure I've got enough stamps to include so she can mail back the same amount. And then I found some stencils that I didn't have. This was $1.99. And this one, I don't know, can you see the children? Linda, I think this is the one you did in that one picture you did, and I told you they were creepy children. I think this is the creepy children stencil, but I thought it would be fun to do. And then this, excuse me, this really cool arrow. I really like these. This one was a little bit more, but I got these at Tuesday Morning. And I swear, every time I go in there, it looks like they're decreasing their stock more and more, like they're fixing to close that location. So who knows? And no, they're not really creepy. I guess it all depends on how you use them. But then I went into Hobby Lobby and I found some of the wooden snowflakes. And I found some snowflakes stickers. And I'm going to put a package of stickers and a package of the wooden snowflakes in my giveaway box for when I reach 2,500 subscribers. And what I will do is I will just, when I hit 2,500 subscribers, I'll just go to a recent video and go to the comments and pull a comment. So make sure you're leaving comments on videos. And then I got some more of the 3x4 self-sealing bags. Used my coupon on that because the Christmas stuff was all on sale. So that was the stuff I picked up, and I'll add these. One set's for me to use, and one's for my giveaway bag. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that one in the giveaway bag real quick. I'm going to grab a couple things. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, Tuesday Morning is a store. It's like closeout and just old stock that they mark way down. So I've said happy Halloween. We won't get any trick-or-treaters here because we never do. Most of the churches around do trunk or treats, and they've already done them last weekend. So it'll probably be a pretty quiet night here. The sewing bees, tomorrow we're going to do an apron, a mug rug, and if time allows, we'll do fabric coasters, which are super easy. And I'll tell you about those tomorrow. And then after, this will be sewing bee session number 5, and then next week will be number 6. And then after that, I'm not going to do a separate sewing bee. I'm going to just do a sewing segment in my Wednesday night lives after that. So I'll only come back live once a week and do 45 minutes of art kind of stuff and 45 minutes of sewing. Hi, Jean. Yeah, I'm really thinking they're fixing to close that Tuesday Morning down there because it just, every time I go, there's less and less stock in there. So after, not tomorrow, but after next week, we'll do sewing bees within the Wednesday night lives. So I did that. We're going to do a quick prompt session. I've got dice prompts that you all helped me make up a while ago. And I have them here. And then I've got the little dice that will roll. And what I'm thinking is I'll roll them, I'll make a list up, and then I'll just put the list off to the side so everybody can work at their own pace. Okay? That way everybody can go as fast as they want or as slow as they want. The list will be there. Hi, Joyce. Trick or treat. What is it? Trick or treat. Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat. And then there's more to it, but I don't remember the rest of it. And then while we're working on that, I'd like to talk about ideas for the new year as far as because postage is going to be going up. It's going to be going up a lot. So what I would like to do is maybe instead of doing swaps that require a lot of mailing, what if we come up with a list of challenges for each month that we would just do and keep? Like we could do a challenge for a journal page one week and then challenge each other to make something new and different we've never made before and maybe make a video on it, that kind of stuff. So we're not having to pay so much in postage because postage is just bizarre these days. As much as I love to do swaps and stuff, I'm just going to have to, it's just too expensive. So I'm thinking of other ways we can still have fun and share ideas and stuff. But I would like to do either a brown paper bag or, let me see if I can find a big envelope real quick. Yeah. All right. Or an envelope about this size. So either a lunch bag, which is what, 12 by, we'll say 6, about 12 by 6 inch bag, or about a 6 by 8 envelope. And you would decorate your bag or envelope and then just stuff it with stuff to make either 4 cards or to do a journal page. And I do not want you to go out and buy stuff for this. I want you to grab stuff out of your stash. Maybe it's stuff that you don't want to utilize, but somebody else could turn it into cards or something, and stuff it into your decorated envelope. And to decorate the envelope, I would seal it closed, okay? Then cut a little bit off the top of the envelope. Y'all have seen these, I think, haven't you? And then slit it in half, just one side of it. Here, I'll do it real quick. And you would decorate it up, stuff it full of stuff to do either 4 cards, which I would, if I was going to do it to do 4 cards, I would do the card bases, just make 4 card bases. Maybe even include the envelopes. So if you had some of those sets of blank cards and envelopes, you could include those. And then include things like maybe some pretty paper, images you've colored but you haven't used yet, but you'd like somebody else to use them in some way that they could fussy cut out. Let's see. Some solid mats for the front of the card that would be 1/4 inch smaller than the front of the card base. You could do that and stick it all in there, and then you will get a partner, and it'll be a one-on-one swap. This is the last swap of the year for us, and probably I'm not going to do a lot of swaps next year just because of the cost of postage. But to wrap out and round out this year, I thought a Christmas swap would be fun. So that's why I came up with this idea. Or if you wanted to fill your envelope or paper bag with things to do a journal page, y'all know how to do a journal page. So I would stuff it with things like painty paper, some things for texture. You know, you could do all kinds of stuff. Just try to use things in your stash to fill the whatever you're going to do. Does that make sense? Chat's not moving. Are you still there? Yep, add Tuesday morning to your things to do while you're here. Yeah, see, Holly, what I do is I only go to the craft and the clearance section in the Tuesday morning because I can get towels and things like that cheaper at Target or Walmart. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about with this envelope real quick. Once you've sealed it closed, just cut a sliver off one end. I'll just cut a little section off. My trash can keeps wandering away like it doesn't want to be utilized. All right, and then I'm going to find about the halfway point. So this is 2 3/4. All right. Let's see. So right about there is my halfway point. And I'll just get my long scissors and I'm just going to cut from here to about where the top and the bottom tips here meet. I'm just going to cut down to that. And then you'd fold these back. All right. So it's like a shirt collar. And then you just stuff this full of goodies. Decorate it up like it's Christmas. Your bag or your envelope, decorate it like it's Christmas, and then just stuff it with the stuff to either do a journal page or 4 cards. So I will add that to our calendar for December, and sign up deadline would be Thanksgiving, which is November, 26th, 27th, somewhere around in there. And then you would mail your goodie pack off to your partner, about a week before Christmas, just so that it gets there. Mindy, it would not have to be. I just want the outside decorated like Christmas, but the stuff you put inside can be for any time of year. So that way, you would choose what you go in there. If you want it to be Christmas themed, they could do a Christmas themed journal page, or they could make 4 Christmas cards. But I was just thinking, if you just included things that you wanted to share, like napkins or whatever you stick in there that they can use. And if they didn't want to do Christmas and they got a bunch of stuff inside that was not Christmas related, they'd be, that far ahead. So that's my idea. I will add it to the calendar if anybody's interested. And it looked like we had a fair amount of interest. And like I said, this will be just a 1-to-1 swap. So you won't have to make up a whole bunch of them, just one. And I thought that could be fun. Hi, Mary Hill. Did you get a card from me, Mary Hill? I mailed you a card. I wasn't sure if you got it or not. So I'm going to add that to our calendar. Yeah, I said, talk about the brown paper bag or envelope exchange for Christmas. It's a 1-to-1 swap filled with items that could be used to make a journal page or 4 cards, and then decorate your bag with a Christmas theme. And if you can use a bag or an envelope, whatever you have. Don't go out and buy lunch bags just to buy lunch bags. If you've got an envelope that's about 6 by 8, that'll work great. And I talked about what we'll be doing with the sewing bees. And we're going to do a quick prompt session. I don't know if everybody's here that likes to do prompt sessions yet or not. But like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump our dice out and write the list of prompts down. And then that way, if people get here late, you know, the list will be here and they can do them, you know, as they want. So the prompts I'm going to pull are ones you all gave me several weeks ago or month, maybe it was a month ago. Oh, yeah, I know. Barb said it was a week on, week off where she was. And I know Ruth Lamb said that they were dealing with that too, and that she was not going to participate in a couple swaps that she had signed up for because of the strike in Canada. So I hear you. So I just want you to know there'll be a card there eventually for you. Yeah, Canada's having some mail issues. Oh, wow. Y'all will get a big old bag or box of stuff. I hope they don't lose anything. That's the only thing. When they go on strike, it can lead to a real mess. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and dump these out and get our prompts. And I'm just going to put them in here by the numbers that they are, because that's kind of how I work the list. So there's a 5. Oh, there's a 10, a 15, 5, 10, 15. Looks like 23, 27, 34, a 38, a 43, and a 54. This way, if somebody likes to work fast, they can work fast. And they can go slow if they want to. So number 1, 2, and this is only 9 prompt session. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the first one is book pages. And then 10 book pages, and then washi tape. It's a gnat walking around. And then 15 is sponge paint. And then 23 is ink. I might type them into the chat too. And then let's see, number 5, be number 27, add dots. And 6 is 34, and that is use green. And then 38 is use bronze. And then 8 is 43, which is markers or Sharpies. And then the last one is 54, make a border. All right, so we got our prompts. And I can put them right there. You'll do it for me? It's awesome. Thanks, Janet. Oh, Mary, I bet that's going to be a headache. Yeah, can you imagine, Linda, if somebody has sent out their wedding invitations? Oh, my goodness, what a mess that will be. Yeah, Suze, I think this will work out really well for us with me setting a time limit on myself. Because like tonight, I want to be done by 9:30, and we can maybe work in some other stuff if we go a little bit faster. And then if I finish up, I'll still have the list over here, and Janet's going to type it into the chat. And I've got somebody. Hang on, guys. I'm checking to see what's going on here. Must have been across the street. I swear it sounded like something on the door. Anyhow. Hi, Crafty Grandma 56. How are you? Okay, guys, there's the 9 prompts. Janet's, as always, is being awesome and got them up there. So let me get some book pages. I cleaned everything up, so yeah, can't find anything now. Let's see. Here's some book page. We get I had brought in my water jug. See, I got this cute little pot at the thrift store for my glue brush. And then this used to have an edible fruit arrangement in it. I got it at the thrift store. And I used that, the purple one, for my sponges and brushes so that I don't make a mess on them. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them. We just don't get them here. It's mostly, people over 80 that live around me. So they don't buy candy. So the kids don't come here. They go to the churches for trunk or treats. This cloth I've been using, it's got a mixture of paint and glue on it, so it's getting pretty stiff. And it's drizzling there, and they're still coming out. That's some dedication to trick-or-treating there. This paintbrush that I use for glue is getting pretty stiff. I wish we could screen in the porch again out there so I could do some some lives out on the porch. That would be fun, but I'm not going to be out there just without the screen on the porch. We have too many wild critters that come out of the woods at night. I don't want to tackle a raccoon or whatever. This is actually Mod Podge for paper that I got for $2 at the Walmart market. For some reason, they were selling it cheap. I guess they just wanted to get it out of there. Walmart markets are, Linda, she doesn't know, there's a difference between the market and a regular Walmart. The market's basically just a grocery section of a big Walmart. And in case somebody doesn't know this, the prices are different in a Walmart market than they are in just a regular Walmart. You will pay more for some items, a lot of items actually, in one of those smaller stores. I learned that quick. So if you shop Walmart, before we moved up here, we never went to Walmart because there was just so much choice. But here we just don't have a lot of choice in the upstate, not like we did down near Columbia, because it's a different market up here entirely. Oh, something's making my nose itch. I swept the porch off. That's for one thing. I probably got dust up my nose. All the leaves are falling off the trees and onto the porch, and oh, you still get some? We don't even get any down at our house, which is kind of good because we're not there anyway. But we used to love to hand candy out. Scott and I would dress up as Fred and Wilma Flintstone, and it was just a lot of fun. It was always so fun to open the door and see the kids startled back. And we got our picture taken by parents going, "Oh, that's so cute." It's like, look at the little old people. You've never heard of the Walmart market? Yeah, we have them down here. It's just, I'll have to maybe do a video of a World Market. I keep saying World Market. It's not World Market. Whoa, it's nowhere near World Market. It's just like a little grocery store. And they're open all the time. I mean, you can go 24 hours a day. Just in case you want ice cream in the middle of the night or whatever. That one doesn't want to be glued down. Okay. Well, we've got the prompts off to the side, Jean. So you can go down later and start again or write them down. Okay. That's getting weird. It sounds like Howie's knocking on the metal part of the screen door. Hi, baby. Come on. It was Tippy. While I'm up, I'll grab my washi tape. Maybe. Last week, I put some stuff in Callie's chair. And when she came in, she was like, "What the heck? Get that out of my chair." She gave me a very big stink face. I'm going to use some of this washi because it's been in that stash for too long. Plus, I like to have, I like to be done online here before Scott gets home so that when he gets home, he can talk about his night and, we can catch up. I actually made some chicken salad sandwiches and he made some deviled ham and I turned it into sandwiches for him. They were doing a Halloween potluck at his job tonight and he wanted to take something that wasn't sweet because, he's diabetic too. So I don't know if they'd like my chicken salad or not. I decided to put black olives in it, and not everybody likes black olives. Some people really hate them. When you're less a zombie, that's fine. I will put them in the description box, but it might be, tomorrow morning before I get them on there. Somebody caught me last week and I hadn't been up long enough to get them on. And somebody left me a comment. You didn't put the prompts. I was like, I just haven't got to it yet. I'm going to get to it. Promise. All right. So I'm doing the second one, which is add the washi tape. And I'm just going to put some of this stuff down because we all know washi tape doesn't stick worth beans. Not for long term. Hi, Lisa, my eclectic life. We're working on our prompt session, and what I did is I went ahead and I threw the dice and I wrote down all the prompts so that everybody can work at their own pace and we can work together. Because I'm going to try to get everything I want to get done before 9:30 my time, which would be 8:30 y'all's time, right? In Central. Awesome. I'm probably going to cut mine into cards to mail to people. So I'm trying to, put enough of this washi on that it falls in several places. So we're actually going to be going to our house twice this week, this coming weekend and next week, because we're going to go down and work on the house on the weekend and then come home. Scott will go to work. And then when he gets off work Monday night at 11, he'll come home and we'll run down there and sleep a few hours, go vote, and then come back up here. And then he'll go to work, either that or he'll call in sick because he's too exhausted. Because I keep telling him, I said, it's going to be too much on you to do all of that, work on the house, and us make 2 trips down there. So, but that's where we have to go to vote because that's our legal residence down there. And we didn't get absentee ballots this time. All right. 6:30 your time. Yeah, Jean is new, you guys. That's Jean, Homeschool Mama 4. And Lisa, at Lisa's My Eclectic Life, she's also a homeschool mom. And I was a homeschool mom. And my reasons for homeschooling were probably a little different than most people's in the United States. I homeschooled because the school asked if they sent the work home if I could get Greg to do it. And I said, well, if I'm going to have to do it, I'll just homeschool him. Yeah, Janet, this is came in a set. Can't remember what was all in the set, but I got this when I worked at, I think this is when I was working at Joann's. That's been 10 years, about 10 years ago. So yeah, it's time to use this washi up. All right, so the next one's sponge paint. And the good thing about doing it this way is, later on we're going to use green and bronze. So whatever I sponge paint with now, I can make sure it goes with green and bronze. Or try to. I might dry this a little bit. I hope it's not too loud. Yeah, I always forget out there in California, it's a lot earlier. But it's well past dark here. I'm in South Carolina. The other side of the United States. All right, so let's see. We're going to use green and bronze later. Yes, South Carolina. I'm in the Greenville area of South Carolina, closer toward the mountains on the west side of Greenville. I'm on every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock to 9:30. And then on the next 2 Thursdays, I'll be on at 2:30 to 5 for a sewing bee. After next week's Thursday, though, I'm not going to do Thursdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays anymore. I'm only going to do Wednesdays. And I'll be doing 45 minutes of sewing and 45 minutes of art type stuff. Just so we can get more people, on Wednesdays. Giovanna, we own our house that we own is in Casey. So we will be down there this weekend. And if I just saw that at the old Casey Motor Speedway, they are having a Rocky Horror Picture Show festival that I would love to go to, but it's on Friday and Scott will be at work. But maybe another time. They're doing it this weekend because they were going to do it last weekend, but we had violent storms, so they rescheduled it. Yep. Our son actually lives in our house down there because my husband has a job up here. So, yeah. I just wish we were all in one place. Hi, Tanya. We're doing the pick 10 or pick 9 rather, a little different so that everybody can work at their own speed. I've already wrote down the list, and Janet, every once in a while, she's popping it up. on there. So if you want to play along, you can. If not, it'll be there. I did talk about the Christmas envelopes at the beginning. You will, I can go over it again really, really quick. Either a lunch bag or like a 6x8 envelope done like this, look like a men's shirt, where you seal the envelope, cut a little off the side, and then cut down the middle to the middle of it and fold them back. Then you'll decorate these up like Christmas and fill it with stuff to either make 4 greeting cards or note cards, or stuff that they could turn into a journal page, like painty papers, doilies, napkins, that kind of stuff. And you do not have to fill them with Christmas materials. And the key is, do not go out and buy anything. Pull from your stash, because we all have stuff that either we've decided we're not going to use and we feel somebody else could use better, or, you know, we just have so much of something. So that's my idea. And you would only be swapping with one person in December. And the sign-up deadline for it would be Thanksgiving. I think it'll just be a lot of fun. And then well, I hope you didn't spend a lot, Tanya. But the key is to try to use stuff you have. I know, Lisa, you were talking about how you would send stuff, you know. Yeah, 6x9 envy would be great. I might need to turn my front light off because I don't have any candy and I can hear kids. I don't want them to be disappointed. Hey, kids. Yeah. Let me feed the spare children on the back porch really quick. They haven't been here all day. All right. So I need a paint color that'll go with green and bronze, because we're going to use bronze later. Oh, you know what? I did buy some bronze, I think, a while ago. I just haven't put it away yet. That's bronze. This could almost be Christmassy with green and bronze if I use red as my sponge color, sponged on color. I'll use lipstick red. And whatever's in this green. So I could do some more Christmas things or something. Yeah, I didn't go and buy any candy, because we bought candy last year. We did not get any trick-or-treaters. And then we had the candy here, but we're not supposed to eat candy because it'll mess our blood glucose readings all up. So I just try to not even buy it. Oh, 50 cents per pound. That's a deal. I think we have a Goodwill clearance that does by the pound stuff, but it's like $1.79 a pound. And you have to go and dig through stuff, and you have to be so careful because they just dump everything into those bins, including glass. When you're pawing through it, you can get cut so easy. My sponge is really wet because I had them drying on the back of the sink, and then when I was rinsing dishes, I splattered water all over them. So I think I'm just going to go over the whole surface with a spongy mess. I need to try to find some more wedges. I'm probably jiggling the camera. Sorry. It's still kind of tacky from the glitter glue, the Mod Podge. I almost got in my 10,000 steps yesterday. I got over 8,000 steps in yesterday. And Scott overdid it at work because he walked too much. So he didn't want to walk today. And I didn't want to walk by myself. It's no fun to walk by yourself too much. But I need to. I need to just go do it. Get it over with. I love Danny's cards that she made with her pick 9. I don't know what to call this dice game, where she turned her circles into ornaments. Those were really cute. Hi, Azur. Hi, Mark. Yeah, I take metformin, Jean. I guess Scott could take it into work, but he works second shift, so it's a little bit smaller group of folks in there at night. But I'm sure if he just left them laying around, they'd get eaten. I just didn't want to buy it and take a chance of slipping and munching on it. It's hard to be good if it's here. If I leave it at the store, it's really easy to be good. I take 2 a day, 1 in the morning and 1 at night. And I take losartan. I think it's a 10 milligram tablet of losartan for blood pressure. I take Ranitidine, which is acid reflux. Ranitidine is the generic of Zantac. Does that sound right? It's one of those Z ones. And then I take a fish oil tablet and a multivitamin and lothiroxine for my thyroid. And I take it when I get up in the night to go to the bathroom while my stomach's completely empty, because you're not supposed to take that stuff with anything. You're supposed to take it an hour to 2 hours before you eat or drink anything. That's what my internist told me. So that's what I do. I just take it in the middle of the night and go back to sleep. And I just eat when I get up because I took it already in the night. You need turmeric too? What does the turmeric do, Tanya? I heard somebody else mentioning that. And did you know, I read an article in one of the diabetic magazines that papayas are very good for a diabetic, that they stimulate the pancreas. I haven't figured out how to peel and cut up a papaya successfully. Once you peel it, it's like holding on to a greased pig is all I could think. And it's just so hard to slice and deal with. All right, I can drop that in my purple jug. Hi, Sherry. It's an anti-inflammatory. I ought to get some for Scott because he has horrible arthritis in his ankles. Yeah, I've taken the fish oil for the cholesterol, but I need to up my activity level. That's why we broke down and got me a Fitbit. See, it says I've walked 4.2K today. Resting heart rate is 75. I've done 1.8 miles. No, wait a minute. I got 47 minutes of intense activity today. So I feel pretty good about that. 47 minutes is a lot more than I was getting. Yeah, Mark, I didn't do anything. The only decoration I have is the jack-o'-lantern painting. He'll call me back if it's important. Okay. Yeah, Jean, this is a funny story for you. Tanya McGuire and I are both married to Jeffrey Scotts. We've both been married 34 years. We both have the middle name A. We have one son. I can't remember what else we have in common, Tanya. It was really freaking us out at first because after she found out my husband's name was Jeffrey Scott, and her husband goes by Jeffrey, and mine goes by his middle name, Scott. And then we started talking about everything, and I celebrated my 34th wedding anniversary in May, and she and Jeff just celebrated theirs. Oh, our last names both begin with MC. It's just been really kind of a hoot. I'm going to dry mine really, really quick because the next thing to do is ink. Yep, and our middle names are both family names. Tried to stay so you can see the whole thing. Yeah, and our kids both have beards. Oh, Tanya, get this. Greg says he wants to grow his beard out to a Viking length, and he wants some Viking charms for his beard. I'm going to get some Stays On and just stamp something on mine. Oh, I found my background stamps the other day. I think I'll just use my fake lettering stamp that I got really cheap from Stamp. Oh, now I can't remember the name of this shop. Scrapbook Pal. I just love them because they give you free shipping if you spend over $25 in the lower 48. So hopefully everything's dry enough that it's not going to stick down. Yeah, that's true. I might have to mention that to Greg. He doesn't work in engines, but he changes batteries out on the forklifts, and he does the other maintenance at the warehouse. So I'm going to have to tell him he might need to keep that in mind. Okay. This is funny about Greg's beard. Every time he comes up here, everybody says, "Don't you want to go to a craft beer place?" And Greg says, "I don't really care for craft beer." And they said, "But you have a beard." Greg's like, "What does me having a beard have to do with craft beer?" He said, "I just don't get it." Might have to wear it in his shirt. All right, Tanya, I'll see you later. You go stop back in later if you can. Yeah, I love them, Jean. I order from them. That's where I get my my super duper tape. It's like score tape, but it's called scrappy tape. It's like $2.99 for the 1/4 inch width, and I use mostly 1/4 inch tape. This stamp just gets a lot of abuse because it's just kind of makes little funky marks on it. So I got it from Scrapbook Pal, Janet, and it was so cheap. It was in the clearance section. I think it was like $1.99 for that stamp. I was like, perfect for backgrounds. I don't want to cover up the prompts, but I need to set that somewhere so I can clean it a little bit better. All right, that was ink. Now I'm supposed to add dots. I'll just use a pen for that or something. Let's see. I'll just use this paint pen. Splatters count as dots. Well, that's true. This has been setting a while, so I want to shake it. You're supposed to shake them for like 2 minutes, but it's not going to be that long. And I might make some smaller cards. So I might do it, divide it by 3 this way and 4 this way, see what I end up with. I'm just working on a background right now, but I usually cut them apart and then turn it into cards. And then I mail those cards out to people. And I've been trying to do 4 to 6 cards every week, handmade cards out in the mail, just to get it out in the mail and to share crafting. Reverse measles. Instead of red spots, it'll be white spots on red. And like I was saying in other lives, you can always go revisit some of the previous prompts when you get to the end and add a little bit more if you're not happy with your results. That's what I like about doing prompt sessions, is it's all about learning, you know, if it's not up to your standards, you can still add more. In fact, you could draw some other ones off your prompt cards if you're using prompt cards, or like I pulled from a list I have. There, I've got dots. Make sure. I might leave this where I can reuse it in a minute. Well, hi, Ann Williamson. I didn't realize that's who I was talking to. I need new glasses, you guys. It's getting bad. Okay. Good night, Linda. Sleep well. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. I might see you in the morning if I get up to join Mary. Doesn't anybody know if Mary got her new phone? And if she got it working? Because I'm not seeing her in here tonight. I hope everything's all right. I got to work. Oh, I forgot. I've got to work on that Goodwill project. I need to talk with Mary. Find out if she still wants to do that for Friday. Because we're supposed to do our Goodwill challenge videos for... Oh, she needs to set it up yet. Okay. If we're going to do that for Friday, I've got a lot to do. Yeah. She still has her old phone, so maybe she just forgot about us being on tonight, or maybe she hadn't been able to get it charged. I know she's had a horrible time keeping a charge on that thing. All right, so after you add dots, we're supposed to do the green and the bronze. And this bronze has never been opened because I just bought it. So now let's see, how do I want to add these? I should use my new stencils that I just showed you guys at the beginning. If I can remember what I did with them. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Oh. I meant to show Tanya this napkins I found. I'll do the green with the squiggly one, which is an Americana loopy stencil. Yeah, and I just showed these to them at the beginning. So I was like, I can't not have misplaced that thing already. Oh, yeah. You sure could have. All right. So we got to do the green first and then the bronze. So I'll do the green. Okay. I think the whole key to stenciling is to try to get off as much paint before you start stenciling so it doesn't go under. That's my biggest problem, Dawn, is I try to keep too much paint on my sponge or brush or whatever. Looks like it needs some down here. Has anybody seen, or are you planning to go see that new Grinch movie? You know, you get the preview on some of your videos now if you monetize. And I was like, oh, hell, how many times can they redo the Grinch? You know, you'd think it's all been done. What I like about these big round art sponges is you got a lot of sides you can use. So you can use the same sponge in a whole session. As long as you're, pay attention to where you're dipping your sponge. All right. I'm going to go drop this in the sink and I'll be right back. I need more makeup sponges. It's something I need to put on my list of things to get. I'm going to rinse this real quick so it doesn't stick on. Oh, you ate it all. Okay. Come on, buddy. Look at that. The spare cats have been gone all day. Sorry, guys. They're out there wanting something. Let's see. I used swirly things. Let's see what I've got in my smaller stencils that I could do bronze. I'm not going to bust out all my new stencils just yet, as much as I want to. And I'm trying to remember less is more, because it looks better if you just put a little bit of each prompt down than trying to do a whole bunch of it, I've found. Thanks, Ann. Less is more. That is right. See, Azure said it. I really like how this one, it's a Tim Holtz. I like how this one looks. So I think I'll use this here and there with the bronze. I'm going to try to see if I can get my glasses clear. I need to go and get my eyes checked anyway because they're watching me for glaucoma. So I have to go. I'm going to call tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow. Then I can hear my grandmother in my head. Today is soon yesterday and tomorrow never comes. Get off it and get it done. Do it now. Hi, Elise. Yeah, I've been putting it off, and it's getting to a point where the bottom lens is not as clear as it used to be. So I guess it's time to go. Now I'm not going to do the whole rectangular shape. I like to do irregular. So I'll just do a little bit here and then I'll move it over. It's going to be hard to see on that red. I like makeup sponges better in a lot of ways because this is very spongy. I don't know how to say it. It holds a lot of air, so when you push down, it almost makes bubbles. It's going to be very subtle. I didn't put out enough paint. Oh, Dawn, you just found out you have glaucoma? I have in my right eye. My right eye is actually larger than my left, and I get pressure headaches, and the nerve endings at the back of my right eye are actually a lot larger than the ones in my left eye. And so sometimes if I get stressed or upset really bad or something, my eye will just ache, and it feels like my whole eye is trying to push its way out of my face. It's horrible. I hate it. So every time I go, they look at the back of my eye, and I wouldn't be surprised if she wants to take another one of those pictures of the back of my eye, which if you've never seen your eye as a photo, as a picture, it's really kind of cool looking. Creepy, but cool. And I haven't sent my cards off this week. That is not stuck down. I'll have to. So this will be for my cards for this week. They'll be going out late, but I'll get some out. Like I said, I've been trying to mail 4 to 6 cards every week. And if I've got your address, you could possibly get a card. And if you'd like to get a card, you can just PM me on Facebook. See, I don't know if you can see. You see how it does like a subtle. I just love that. Might actually add a little bit more. Use up this paint. Might as well. I found my stack of unfinished projects, and I'm determined to finish several of them before the end of the year, just so they're done and out of my way for new projects. I can't keep adding and adding new projects with no completions, no matter how much fun they look. When we get settled, whenever that is or wherever that is, in my craft room, in my next craft room, I will have a sink in my room that I can just walk over to and get to everything. That's good. Becky Carr McCauley. Hopefully I won't lose you guys doing this. There you go. I actually found my wipe off book when I was cleaning up too. So yay! I can use the rest of this paint in my book I've done to do wipe ups. I did go through and I had removed some pages from this book and glued several together. So see, I've done like this page in here. But this is just a book to grab, an old book to grab. Look, there's a flea. Let's put some bronze on the flea. I'm just going to scrape this off here. Wonder what I did with the wet ones. I'll stick that down in the water because I'm done with the colors. I'm almost done with this project. Here's my wet one. I got one of those humongous wet one bags. You'd think I could keep track of it, but I set it in a different place every time. So since we're going to be making 2 trips to the Columbia area this weekend and the beginning of next week, I'm trying to make sure I stay ahead of the laundry here so that we don't have to deal with any over the weekend. I'm gonna be sore from being on the road that much, but not as much as poor Scott, because he in turn has to go to his job in between. There we go. So see, I can set that aside, and that gives you a place. If you've never done that before, this gives you a place to use all your excess leftover paint. So you're not just, wiping it off and throwing the cloth in the trash. And then you can go back through when that gets full of wipe offs and cleaning your stencils off and that kind of stuff. Then you've got a book that you can go through and just add a quote and a focal image, and you can have another whole journal really quickly. And Janet made an ABC book out of her, and she used a composition book. So you don't even have to find an old book. You can just get like a 50-cent composition book when they're on, close out, like at after school has started. You can get those composition books for next to nothing. So that's what I would do. And Janet's ABC book is awesome. I was really thrilled to see that thing. It was awesome. Awesome. All right, so I've used my bronze. So now it says markers or Sharpie and then add a border. So I've got to do something with markers or a Sharpie and add a border. Man, I got green paint all over me. Yeah, I just use, in that one, I've just done paint, just my excess paint. It just gives you somewhere to go with that wet medium, and then you just leave it open off to the side to let it dry. So let's see, what should I do with Sharpies? I guess first thing I need to do, I'm not going to add borders with it like this. I'll cut it into the shapes I want. Trying to think. I might just draw lines with a Sharpie. And then somewhere on here I have a piece that's loose right there. I've got a glue stick. We'll just use a glue stick to glue that down. Oh, this one's an empty. Oh, it's not empty. It's in the lid. Don't you hate when they get down to this much glue? I do. Oh dear, I ripped it apart. Well, I'll dry it a little and try to clean up some of the glue. I usually have one of those, I call them a scrapey thing, but y'all, spatula or something like that. Yeah, I think I'll just do lines with a Sharpie. Might use a ruler with a Sharpie. Ruler. And you can use a marker if you don't have a Sharpie. You use some other kind of marker. I've got these Sharpies that are like a pen that I got at Kmart the other day. I think I'll just make some thin lines with that. And then I'll chop it up and add borders to each one. Maybe in white. That looks kind of cool. See how that's got the bronze? Camera doesn't like it. Close your eyes and draw. Ooh, too scary. I've done that because it's a prompt before, but it's a little unnerving sometimes. Well, hi, Elizabeth. I'll just do some lines. This only makes a real narrow little line. I watched that Zumbo's Just Desserts the other day when I was working on some stuff. That was fun. That one poor little gal gets so nervous. when she gets overwhelmed. I felt so bad for her. I know that feeling all too well. It didn't say your lines had to be bold and loud. It just said use a Sharpie. Has anybody seen tool using Primate in here? I didn't know if he'd have time to come on tonight or not. He had a slow night last night. Oh, and tool using Primate, you guys. That's Scott. That's my husband. He sometimes turns the video on while I'm live. You wish you had come earlier? The prompts are just above, Vicki, if you want to pull out some paper and work along. I did the prompts. I just pulled them all out at the beginning so everybody could work at their own speed and we wouldn't have to wait for each other and we could just get it done and chit chat. And if you guys have any questions while I'm just sitting here working on this, feel free to ask. I'll answer if I can. All right, I'm going to chop this up now. Yeah, I did it a little different tonight just so that we could get done, whatever speed we like to work. I'm kind of a fast one. I like to boom, boom, boom because I try to get done. Ooh, that's going to make that awful small. Let's go back out to 4.5. I'll just make them like I've been making them. And I'll only get 4 cards. So I'll do this 4.5. Let's see. I could do little square cards, couldn't I? So this is, if I remember right, 12 inches wide. So if I do 4 inches, 4.5 by 4, they'd be a little bit smaller card, but I could get more cards. I could get my 6 cards out this week because I've only been doing 4 cards the last couple weeks. Uh-oh, I didn't get it all the way through. I like doing a half a dozen each week. And I think I will just put some of that bronze around the edge as part of the border, but then draw a border as well. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just use the bronze as my border. And I do that with my finger because I found the paintbrush just aggravates me to do that. Oh, is Gloria here? Did I miss Gloria? Well, hi, Gloria. I'll say hi, even if I can't see you currently. Oh, you're running out of paint. Man, I used so much paint up when we did the painty paper swap that I'm going to need some too. I went and bought a few weeks back. I got some bronze because it kept coming up as a prompt. I just like to cover that edge where you cut, and sometimes it's a little rough when your blade's kind of getting dull again. And if you wanted to, if you get a lot of paint on your finger, you can build it up on the edge so it looks like puffy paint. But I don't want to put it on that thick tonight because I want it to dry quicker. I just want to cover up where the cut edge can be seen. And if you don't like to stick your finger in paint, I know some people don't. My son, for the longest time, when he was little, he couldn't stand to get his hands dirty at all. He hated finger paint. And they were always trying to get him to finger paint in kindergarten. He just could not stand I guess the feel of it bothered him. Now he doesn't care. Of course, he's 32 now, so I guess you grow out of that, huh? Hi, Beverly Hills. I did, Elise, and the swap idea is this. You will utilize things you already have on hand. You do not have to go out and buy anything, new or special for this swap. It'll be a Christmas exchange, and it'll basically be build a gift. In that, you'll take either a lunch bag or a 7x9 or 6x8 or whatever size larger envelope you have, and make it so it's like this. So it looks kind of like a shirt open. And the way you do that is seal the envelope, trim a little bit off one end, and then just slice down to the middle, in the middle, and fold the tabs back. Then you'll decorate your envelope or your lunch bag and fill it with the things to make either a journal page or 4 cards. And if you did the card option, you would include 4 blank cards and 4 envelopes, and then whatever they could add to the top, a little bit of ribbon, some lace, a colored image, some mats for the front of the cards, flowers, stickers, that kind of stuff. If it was for a journal page, I might put that on there as an option, whether you want to swap to do cards or if you want to swap your swap to be about a journal page. And then that way you'd get items that you would normally use. Or if you want a challenge, you can ask to do the opposite of what you're used to doing and just see what you can make with what they send. And it will be a 1-to-1 swap, meaning you'll do 1 envelope. That's it. And sign up deadline will be Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving, which is like November 26th or 27th, somewhere in there. I haven't thought about it that far ahead, so I don't know exactly what day it falls on. And then that way we can maybe a week before, 10 days before, get your envelope in the mail so it can arrive by Christmas, so your partner can enjoy it. And it does not have to be a Christmas theme, whatever you put inside. You can, whatever you have on hand, fill your envelope with, or bag up with that. And I was talking about earlier, just offering up challenges next year, and maybe do 1 or 2 swaps only throughout next year, simply because the cost of postage is going to be going sky high. And I just would like to save on postage for myself, and everybody else would save on postage too. Thank you, Gloria. Yeah, Gloria, use whatever you have. If you need to substitute gold for bronze, go for it. The only reason I actually have bronze is it kept coming up as a prompt, and I was in one of the stores. I can't remember where it was. And I said, well, I'll get some bronze. Once we get the stupid house taxes paid, I want to do a big paint haul, because like I said, with that painty paper swap, I burned through the paint, you guys, which was good, but now I don't have very much. And I want to wait for a nice big sale, like 40% off or more. And I don't think I'm going to buy any more store brand paint, simply because it's so thin and you have to use so much more than if I just spent a little bit more and got like folk art or Americana. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I think it's a better value to get paint that covers better in the long run. Oh, I only have 2 more and I don't have enough paint out. All right. Oh, Dawn, I know about the upchucking, man. These cats. The worst part is when you get up in the night and they've all been in and somebody's done that on the floor and you're going to the bathroom. And in the little house, this little house that we're in is maybe 700 square feet. And you walk in the front door, and to the right over here where I am, this is where my table is. The couch and stuff is behind it. And then the bedroom's over there behind me too. Well, to go to the bathroom in the night, you have to come through this room and across through the kitchen and out the side of the house to the bathroom. This little house, I think, was built in segments and in squares, because if you look up in the attic, you can see the old roof lines, like the original box, which I probably assuming that they had an outhouse somewhere. And then a little while later, they added the kitchen and the other little bedroom were added on at different times. It was like the little bedroom that Scott uses just as the place where the recliner is, and he's got some of his hobby stuff in there. But they were all like little porches, and even the bathroom. What's funny is you have to, when you come out of this room, there's about a 1-inch step up into the kitchen, and then you go across the kitchen, and then there's a 1-inch step down into the bathroom. And the ceiling in the bathroom maybe is 7 foot instead of 8 feet. So my son, when he comes up and he goes to take a shower and he stretches up to wash under his arms and stuff, he hits the ceiling because he's 6'3". I told him, I said, you have to be careful when you're taking a shower in there because everything's a lot lower. Yeah, this house has a date written on one of the timbers in the basement, 1944. So this was built right at the end of World War II. And it's got asbestos in the basement. And as long as you don't disturb asbestos and break it and get the dust in the air, it can't hurt you. But it's not something I would want kids around, you know, and we don't have any kids, and our son's grown, and we don't go in the basement except to do laundry. When we first moved in, there was stuff in the basement that Scott's grandfather had canned, and he passed away in the 70s. So all that stuff had been in the basement all that time. It had been down there so long. The lids had rotted away and the food had dried up. It was, ugh, it was all yucky. And it smelled so bad in here when we first moved in. And when we started cleaning out that basement, things just improved immensely. All right, see, I've got all that bronze paint left. Oh, Barb's here. Hi, Barb. All right, so now I need to scoop that up and put it in my book that I got here. And I think I'm just going to put it on the same page. That bronze is something else. Let's try to cover the flea up. I don't like fleas. Oh, I think the big cats are beating up the little cats out on the porch, or the raccoons are out there. Let me go see. I'll go chase them off. No, it's Groucho. He's after a moth. He keeps jumping up in the air and falling back down on top of the dryer. All right, so see, that page is filling up with goodness. Oh, I don't know. I didn't catch the Mary's second live the other day, and I didn't catch any of her lives yesterday. I saw she came on a second time. And like I said, I've been trying to keep everything ahead so that this weekend, we don't have to deal with any of that stuff. So that's my backs for my cards. And I'll probably mat them on black because the washi tape I had has those black, what are they called? Silhouettes. So I'll just back it in black, and then I'll add a focal image of some sort. I might actually do a border around them, but I don't want to bother them right now with the paint on them. So I'm going to get one of my trays I got at the thrift store. And I love these trays because you can put stuff on and move it out of your way. I'm going to keep my eye open because I really love these. This one says, "Got milk." Let's see, got milk. So I'll just stick these on here. These are like old TV trays. Let's see. But yeah, I made up a bunch of ham salad sandwiches and chicken salad sandwiches, and Scott took them into work because they were doing that potluck. And I cut the ham ones in fingers, and the chicken ones I cut into triangles like chicken wings. So hopefully, there we go. And then I can add a focal image, maybe another border and a mat, and I'll have 6 cards ready to be mailed on. I'll probably do my mailing this week on Friday, so they'll arrive actually the following Monday or Tuesday to those that I mail to. So I will put the prompts that we use tonight in the description box. Janet's been adding them every so often into the chat. So if you scroll up, you can see them and copy them down real quick. Let's see. I was going to do that. It's 8:40 now. For those that are members of the group, I put up this little document today. I just scanned this in, and these are measurements to make the apron that we're going to do tomorrow. Number 1 is from, if you hold your arms straight down at your sides and somebody measures from the top of your underarm, like under your arm right here at the very top of your arm where your crease is there toward your body, from there across your chest to the other side, you need that number is your first measurement. The second measurement will be from about where you'd want your apron to fall to where your rib cage ends. So where your sternum is, you measure down that far because that's the distance you'll know that you'll start making your apron wider. So it goes around the top of you. And number 3, I want you to measure your waist and divide it by 2/3 because you want 2/3 of your waist measurement to be the width of your apron at the widest point. If you use your waist measurement, it will go all the way around you. Usually, you have some space at the back. So I said, if you divide by 2/3, that'll give you enough to cover your front side where you need to be covered. Although I know that sometimes I end up with stuff on my fanny because I'm a fanny wiper. You reach back and wipe your hands on your fanny. But for just a tie-on apron, I thought if we did 2/3, it would be better. And let's see. And then you'll divide your two measurements from number 1 and number 3 in half. So once you get the 2/3 of your waist, you'll divide that number in half, because we're going to make half a pattern, and you'll take your pattern and place it on the fold. So like it'll be like half of the apron, like here. And so I'll show you tomorrow, but you're going to need a piece of paper half the width of your widest point on your apron to make your pattern piece. You need that. Yeah, I think it's a farm girl thing. We always, on the farm, I would wear my grandmother and my great aunt's old aprons, because they were the kind, I actually have the pattern where you put it on like a dress, and the back, it went all the way around your back and crossed like that at the back, and then you'd have pockets on the front to gather eggs. So yeah, I know farm aprons are really what I need, but this will work for art, is what I was thinking. And you'll want enough fabric for tomorrow. About whatever your measurement is from the top of your apron to where you want it to stop, whether it's halfway down your thigh, which I think is a good size for just arting apron, or if you want it down to your knee, you need that measurement, because that's probably about the length of fabric you'll need. So I'm going to say about a yard would do my length. So that's what I'm going to aim for. And I think I'm going to make mine reversible. So I'm going to have 2 different fabrics, and you'll just cut one out of each fabric, and then we'll sew them right sides together, turn them right side out, and voila. That way you don't have to hem all of those edges. I like to do that. Just because I don't like to hem that much. And if you make it reversible, you have 2 aprons in one, plus you don't have to hem. You don't have to add bias around all that length. Yes, mug rugs. We're gonna do an apron, which won't take long once we get the pattern drawn and cut out. But I wanted you guys to have this so you can get your measurements together beforehand, just to make tomorrow go smoother for all of us. See, this is what your pattern will look like. I already drew it out. So it'll look kind of like that, and I'll show you how to draw it up tomorrow. So that's on the group site if you wanted to, print it off or look at it, that little diagram. So we've done our prompt session. And it was Barb Filion that made me think of that. She came up really the idea in our quilt group. She mentioned, why don't we just do challenges, and then we don't have to wait on things in the mail. So on our quilt group, we have a challenge file going for a block of the month. And each person that, is thinking about participating has added a block choice for a 12-inch block. So each month, each of us will make one 12-inch block in whatever the pattern is for that month. And then at the end of the year, we'll have 12 blocks that we can turn into a quilt. And it can be like a sampler quilt that we came up with together. And I thought that was such an excellent idea. I was thinking maybe we could do monthly journal prompt, one journal prompt a month. Or, I don't know. You guys will have to help me come up with some ideas of things to do. Oh, You're a beginner quilter? Oh, Anne, thank you so much for stopping in today. I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween. And it's 8:47 now. Okay, I'm going to get another piece of paper because Azure's giving me some ideas here. A flower of the month. Flower of the month. And what would we do for flower of the month? Azure, would it be like a journal page? Or just do a project? Oh, that's cool. I did pillowcases for Conquer Cancer one year. I made a whole bunch of pillowcases. Oh, a quilt. Yeah, a flower of the month would be good for a quilt. So far on the quilt group that I'm in, it's just a little group, and we've been together for like forever. We've got just a couple new members that are joining us and having fun, and Barb's one of them. She's been in over at our Quilters Family Home. I was wondering if there's the Linus Project is for baby quilts. Yep. There's also I don't remember the exact site, but there's a site that has a pattern for a preemie little sack at the little top for preemies, and you have to make them out of really soft fabric and use plastic snaps because they don't want any metal in case they have to go in and do intervention to bring them back around if they have trouble and things. And I had thought about working on some of those to donate somewhere, but I got to find some place that takes them, and I got to find some plastic snaps. I've never done the quilt as you go, Janet. I think I tried it one time, and I had a horrible time figuring out how to put them together once I had quilted a couple. Pillowcases are so easy and so fun, and you can make them so there's hardly any seams, which for some kids, the feel of a seam is very annoying. I added it in Beverly Hills the day that you reminded me. I added it to that video. So that was from last Wednesday. The prompts are on there for last Wednesday. I did not, I have not put up like the whole 54 prompt list anywhere. I just usually, when I add it to the videos, I add the ones that we drew. Like tonight, I will put the ones we did on this video, but I usually do it in the morning. I will try to do it before I go to bed tonight, so it's on there. But Janet just put them in the chat, and we only did 9 prompts today because I use these. Now, if we do Dirty Dozen, I have the other prompts that we can pull from. Yeah, Jean, the sewing bee is at 2:30 to 5 tomorrow. And we're going to do the aprons, mug rugs, and if time allows, that's where I keep getting the bronze on my fingers from. We'll do some easy fabric coasters. They are so easy, you guys, and they make a cute gift. Even a little girl could make these. If you've got a little girl that's wanting to learn to sew, this is a really good project. I am on the East Coast, so that's 2:30 Eastern. I usually start that right after Scott walks out the door, so I try to have everything set up right before he needs to leave, and I've already got his lunch packed for tomorrow night. So I just have to come up with breakfast and lunch, and then I can get everything set up. And I was thinking about drawing my pattern out beforehand, but if you guys want me to do it all the way through from start to finish tomorrow, I will do that. And to make a pattern, you do not have to have any, special materials. Like I've got pattern paper, but for the apron, I'm just going to use some newsprint I have. And you can actually even just use newspaper. You do not have to have any special paper. If you've got a newspaper, just bring it because that's all you need. All the way through, please. Okay. I'll just wait till tomorrow and draw my patterns then. You found the microwavable batting at Joann's? That's awesome. I looked at the Joann's down in Casey, the one that I used to manage, but they didn't have them. I had seen it there in the past, but I did not see it last time I was in there. Hi, Jackie. I hadn't, Jackie. The only thing I've done that was donated anywhere was the pillowcases. And the pillowcases that I did was actually for the cancer wing for the kids. I did all fun prints with some had race cars on them, and some had fish, and some had fairies, and some. I just went through my cotton fabric and I just made pillowcases. If I can find it, I have a picture of them all lined up on my ironing board that I took right before I had mailed them off. And if I can remember, I'll put it in the group. Okay, Jean, thanks. I'll see you tomorrow. Allie, it won't come in contact with the right side of your fabric. I always fold my fabric right sides together. That's how I was taught in high school. Always fold them right sides together. So the newspaper's not going to come off on anything that would bother it. Good night, Beverly Hills. Well, I was going to go until 9:30, so I'm sitting here trying to think of what we could do. I don't know what's something we could do real quick together. I mean, I could finish my Inktober, I guess, if you all don't mind just sitting and watching me draw something. Okay, Lisa, that's why I've set a time limit on mine. From now on is 2.5 hours. So from 7 to 9:30 my time, just so everybody else can, pop in and then be done, because I know there's a lot of people going live in the evenings and I didn't want to hog all the time. So I figured 2.5 hours is plenty long enough to accomplish most things. Hey, Ruby, I didn't see you sneak in. Sneaky sneak. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun, and I love the little guy on Jerry Bellini's tag, so I had to draw him. And I made the journal from a piece of mixed media paper and just put book stuff on it. And I've had so much fun with Inktober this year. There's some epic fails in here, but then there's others that I really, really liked. These are the ones I've done in the last couple days, trying to get caught up. That's supposed to be my youngest little niece, but it didn't turn out too good. Her twin brother, I haven't done his picture. But I was thinking of doing something else for Halloween because it's Halloween. So I might draw, and I draw all of these just with this zebra ink pen. Sneaky Ruby. Oh, Lisa, good night. So, trying to think of what to draw. This is the last Inktober drawing. I've got 30 minutes. That girl's creeping me out. I drew on there, so I'm going to move that over there. I don't know what to draw. I'm about to draw it out. Oh my goodness. Well, I always do a border, which I just draw this. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's what I did throughout this whole thing. Is I added a little border to the page, and then I did a drawing. I already did a pumpkin, but I thought about doing a jack-o'-lantern to wrap this up for tonight. Got a jack-o'-lantern there, but I could do another one. A Halloween mask. Yeah? Full face or just the eyes? A witch. I did a witch. I already have a witch. She's in here. And see my little, I love to do this. You do a little grid in the front and then just do a mini or a portion of what you did on the page. So you can always tell, like, see, there's my witch on page 2. A witch, a Halloween mask, a pumpkin, your choice. Well, let's do a jack-o'-lantern. I'm hoping Mary's okay. It's not like her not to be around. I know she's having the phone problems. Hope everything's all right. A turnip jack-o'-lantern. How would that work? Okay, good night, Suze. That's another reason not to stay on too long, because I know you guys are probably going to get trick-or-treaters. We just don't get any here. That might be where Mary is, handing out candy. But I was going to stay on until 9:30, so I'll hang, and sounds like Howie's knocking at the door. I try to think about how the pumpkin isn't just smooth all the way around. It has like little, the little bumps for each segment. And some go all the way down, and then some only go part way down. I got to go let Howie in. He's about to tear the door down, you guys. He's like, they're scaring it out here. Hang on just a sec. Oh, my knees. Did you guys hear them? Pop, pop, creak, creak. What is it? Is that your best trick or treat? Okay. Now I gotta turn the light on so he can see his food. There you go, buddy. Yes, I will. I will do that, Tanya. Man, y'all don't waste no time. I mentioned something and you're right there going, yeah, come on, get it on, get it on. I know, Kathy. I wish we did too, but times have changed. I think the last real time we saw trick-or-treaters when our son was, still little. Everybody's gotten away from it here. They don't really do any of that here anymore at all. So I just got to where I quit buying candy because they don't come, and Scott and I don't need all of that, sitting around. I'm really wondering how many sandwiches he'll turn around and bring back home with him tonight. It was so much fun, and I love to make Greg's costumes, so I know that some of you that are already friends with me on Facebook have seen the little pumpkin costume. I made that for Greg when he was like 4, I think. Mary got me brave enough to just go at it with an ink pen. Usually it would be, oh, I've got to do it in pencil first, and so I can erase. But now it's just like you just work your mistakes in. Don't ask until I watch. I just throw an idea out there thinking, oh, we can talk about it and discuss it. No, y'all are ready to go. But yeah, I'd like to come up with some ideas of just monthly challenges, like a challenge journal that we'd work on throughout the year, kind of like the paper bag journal, but do like a cover and then do the binding where you have just the tabs come up that you can just glue a page in. I think that would be a good one for a challenge journal for next year. And we'd start it in January and do it throughout the year. And maybe have a theme for each month for it. And you could just do whatever page whenever you wanted to do it for in the month. And you could share it or not share it. Sorry, go in the zone and then I forget to look up. Oh, okay. That's what I figured. I got to thinking, I bet she's doing trick-or-treaters. And that's another reason not to stay on too much longer, so everybody can enjoy their trick-or-treaters if they get them. Like I said, I kind of miss the trick-or-treaters. But of course, if they stop by here tonight, they'd be disappointed because I don't have anything. Last year I bought candy thinking, oh, we'll get a couple, but no, we didn't get any. And then Scott and I ended up eating the candy, which we're not supposed to. I actually set a timer so I wouldn't go over tonight because I knew you guys would be busy. Yeah. I taught some sewing classes to the homeschool group I was in. Um, Thank you. You know, the costume I had, well, there's two costumes that I remember with just great, I don't know, perpetuity, I don't know. That gave me so much headaches was the Green Power Rangers. I made a Green Power Ranger costume. And gold lame has got to be the worst thing in the planet to sew. It's got to have, there's got to be a Murphy's Law about fabrics that are not fun to sew. And gold lame is one, and pleather is the other. I made a matrix coat for Greg, and I was like, I am never going to sew pleather again. Oh, my word. That was just the biggest nightmare. That stuff has a mind of its own. Janet, is Mary going to go live in the morning? Do you know? Because I won't force myself to get up if she's not going to be live. Of course, it would probably do me good to go ahead and get up because I've got to get some sewing done before I get on here to sew with you guys. This is funny. I've found a couple of Scott's shirts that have been waiting like forever to be repaired. And, you know, he keeps, are you ever going to fix those? So I said, oh, well, I've got this machine out last week. And I said, well, I'll fix one. And the other, I need to go and get some mending fabric because the button pulled a hole in the shirt when it popped off. So I've got to put mending fabric at the back before I can fix the shirt. But then the other shirt just had the pocket pulled loose. So I thought, oh, this is an easy fix. So I fixed the pocket, and Scott put it on. And he said, I thought you said you fixed this. And I was like, I did. He's like, no, you didn't. This is the pocket I about ripped off. I didn't realize it was both sides of the pocket. So I told him, I said, well, if you feel like you got the time and you can take your shirt off, I've got the machine here with the same thread in it. I'll just stitch that up real quick. So I finally got that fixed. I still haven't fixed the shirt. I need to do that for him. I think I'm going to go darker under the nose and the eyes. Easy Knit. Oh, I don't know what that is. What's Easy Knit? See, back then, there was no YouTube, so I didn't have YouTube to refer to learn to sew on all this stuff. And, on the farm, we use cotton and denim and that kind of stuff. So I knew how to sew that, but Greg wanted to be a green Power Ranger. I still have that costume simply because it was so much of a headache to make. I never want to get rid of it. I told him, I said, you better have a son one day that I can dress up as a green Power Ranger. He said, well, Mom, he probably won't want to dress up as that. And I was like, he's gonna. Somebody's going to get some use out of that. I actually might let my brother's kids have it. I don't know. Hi, Howie. How's it going? I feel like this needs some just light color. Hey, buddy. I'm just barely letting the pen touch the paper to get a lighter color of ink. Mary's working hard on the phone setup. Okay. All right. Thanks, Janet. I will, if I'm up, I'll try to pop in. It just seems like we have so much going on this weekend that I want to stay ahead of the game if I can. See, we use a company called Ting for our phone service, and we save so much money. We were on AT&T, and that was just too much. So we now use Ting, and our bill for 3 phones is like $60 for the month. Now, that's simply because it's Scott and I and his mom are on the same plan. And, you know, his mom doesn't hardly use her cell phone, so. Oh, this will be so good. I'll have my Inktober completed. Might stick it on in the book. Can't believe I came up a page short. I think I got a booger on the bottom of my pen. Oh no, squirrels started eating. Here it's usually so warm. What happens with our pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns, if we do them, is the fruit flies move in right away and they rot super fast. So it's best to just hold off and do your jack-o'-lantern on Thanksgiving and then be ready to throw it away 2 days later because it will be nasty. See the chat moving along. Good night, Dawn. Thanks, Sharon. Well, hey, Peg, and I realized the jack-o'-lanterns in that package you guys sent me was one you did, Peg, isn't it? Did you do the little jack-o'-lantern painting? I love it. It's over on the coffee table. I'm actually liking just drawing with pens, which I think is kind of crazy because I would never have thought it could be so much fun to just try to get different values with the same pen. If you've never tried it, you should. Just saying. It's all in the pressure you add to it. I'm trying to think of all the things I made for Greg over the year. One year, Greg was a bank robber, and he just had to wear tore jeans, and I put black makeup all over his face, and had a ski cap on, and I can't remember what all else. Oh, I made him a money bag for his candy. It had a big old dollar sign on it. But the Green Power Ranger, that was the most intense costume, I think. All right, so now we need to just write Happy Halloween. All right, Mindy, what is Nano Jumo? Oh, sequin tuxes. That sounds scary. Let's do a funky happy. Sorry, you guys, if Howie's cleaning himself is too loud. He's sitting in that chair being obnoxious. The top hats with a pain in the rear. I kind of missed the costume making portion of it. I think the last thing I made was the Fred and Wilma costume that Scott and I used to wear all the time, but we haven't wore those in a while. I still have them. And we used to have a Halloween party. Yeah, it's going to be going off in 5 minutes, so I'll be wrapping up here shortly. Oh, is that what Peg is doing? Peg and Shell have a list of prompts for November, and it starts tomorrow. And I think Peg is saying they'll be on tomorrow to go over it. Is that what you were talking about, Mindy? I printed the prompts off, but I haven't made a journal yet, and I think that's what they're going to do tomorrow. I just have to get my sewing session out of the way, and then I can. Oh, I put happy. Oh, for crying out loud. It's supposed to be an L. Razzle dazzle. And I can't erase ink. I don't think I can erase ink. It's not coming off. Well, I'll have to fix it. Yeah, Peg says they're doing it tomorrow. Peg, what time? I'm thinking I'm going to be overlapping you guys, so I'll have to watch the replay. Because I'm doing my sewing bee 2:30 to 5 my time Eastern. I don't think I can get that off from there. Might run a hole in the page before I get it off. Gesso, Barb's saying. Well, I'll use that part. I'm going to run out of room. I didn't plan very good. Howard. He just huffed at me. All right, I'm going to be signing off. My alarm's fixing to go off here in just a minute. I'll just get some gesso like Barb said, and I'll just erase that part of that P that I accidentally added on there. So thanks to you guys, I got my Inktober all finished, so my book will be full. Ooh. Somebody's got their music nice and loud. I wonder if Deshawn's having a party across the road. I want a new mattress for this bed here so bad. Happy Halloween! And I'll fix that L that's got a P bump on it. Bye, Sharon. Night, Barb. Would it be a fun idea to do a hop type pick a stick? You get one prompt from the first person. Yeah, we've kind of done things like that before where we would call on people in the chat to give the prompts. We can do that next week if you guys want to. So be thinking about prompts you'd like to do on next week's, and we'll do them. Oh, there it goes. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go, and I'll see some of you tomorrow at 2:30. Thanks, everybody.